Our next speaker is a force in Rhode Island politics. She is the current president of the Rhode Island National Organization for Women, Hillary Levy Friedman.
Well, thank you so much for having me here today to speak truth to power. And how lucky am I that my electeds are Representative Agello and Senator Golden. So I'm kind of good. And I see my city, well, she was up there. Where did Helen Anthony go, who just voted for the resolution that we ever talked about? So the weird thing, though, when I say I'm here to speak truth to power is that almost 3/4 of the residents of this state believe in protecting a woman's right to choose. 71%. And almost a majority of our General Assembly has signed on to these bills already. So I think we're here harnessing our power, don't you? So today I want to talk about the cost of abortion. And I want to be intentional about the impacts of abortion on low-income women and their families. And I also want to talk about how Roe, among the many other things that it's done, has actually helped decrease intergenerational transmission of poverty. So here's what we know. Money issues often drive women to seek an abortion. During the last recession, abortion rates rose, especially among low-income women, as jobs were lost. Moreover, unintended pregnancies have become increasingly concentrated among lower-income women. Actually, low-income women are 5 times as likely as their more affluent peers to have an unintended pregnancy. And here in Rhode Island, in 2010, the last year for which we have data, 70% of unplanned births were publicly funded to the tune of $27.5 million. So we're here because, as women, we want control of our bodies, right? Yes. But we also need to be able to control when we plan our pregnancies, when we decide to start our families, and just to plan our futures more generally. And one of the most common reasons that women seek an abortion is because they can't afford to have a child at that time. Perhaps a pregnancy might interfere with the ability to finish school or to work in the most effective way possible. So numerous studies of the highest academic caliber have told us that contraception, for which abortion is a crucial part of that story, that is what powers women's educational and employment successes. So in a state like ours, in Rhode Island, where we're so concerned about workforce development, how can we afford not to support the Reproductive Health Care Act? Even more studies show that access to safe legal abortion services increases the likelihood that a woman finishes college, it lowers the rate of welfare use, and it helps keep women employed. So Rhode Island now, and all of us here today, we should call on all members of the General Assembly who believe in equality of economic opportunity to support legislation that codifies Roe versus Wade in this state. I also want to point out that women who have needed an abortion, but who have not been able to gain legal access, were 3 times as likely to fall into poverty compared to those who actually had safe legal access. Yet, there is no cost to our state's taxpayers to pass the Reproductive Health Care Act. How does that make any sense? So what about the children? So maybe some people aren't so worried about women. So let's talk about the kids. So economists have found that children born after Roe was passed were significantly more economically advantaged. Those children had higher household incomes, they were more than 7% less likely to live in poverty, and they were 12% less likely to live in households that were provided public assistance. Another study actually estimates that the legalization of abortion saved the government over $14 billion, not million, in welfare expenditures in the 80s and 90s alone. So you tell me, how can we afford not to pass this legislation this year, on top of all the other reasons that have been mentioned? Because when we as women and as families can plan our future, we're protecting not only our own financial stability, but also that of our communities and our state. Thank you so much. Let's give